What is going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon. It seems like we've only just had one Lions game and we're on to the next one. It's going to be the Lions versus the Chelsea Sharks. So that means, of course, we need to do another preview video. The Sharks, of course, are not in this game because they don't have any of the South African teams. But luckily, we have a bit of a like-for-like team. So we've got the Sale Sharks. So they'll go in. We'll play this game in the background and we'll talk about the official teams announced, talk about who we think is going to do well, who we think is going to do badly, and finally give a score prediction. So without further ado, let's get this game kicked off and underway. Alrighty, here we are at Union Stadium. So of course with these Lions previews I let them run a little bit longer in the background just to get a little bit more atmosphere. Here we are in the tunnel ready to come out. Lions versus the Sharks. We'll just refer to them as the Sharks, and then that way it makes it feel a little bit better. There we are, Sharks logo on there. So as we did last time, of course, I've changed the team up a bit in the background. Helps us try and build that team chemistry within the game, almost like it's real life. We're playing at night time in this one. I'm not sure how dark it's going to be in the actual live game, but I thought we'd play it in the night time. So the team chemistry is going to have changed from last time, and this will be the new team that we're going for this time. So trying out some different combos, some different wingers and so on. We'll mix it all up and it gets to feel a little bit more like we are, of course, doing the actual Lions series as we're going along, and it's a lot more fun just to sort of do in the background for you guys. Of course, there is Quentin Prevost, the man who's there at every single game. I love seeing Quentin Prevost, the only referee in this game. Absolutely superb. But well, there's actually a bit of a crowd for this one. In the last video, there really wasn't any sort of crowd waiting. But of course, we will get this game kicked off and underway. And it's going to be Dan Bigger getting us kicked off. We'll go for the right here. Let's kick off a bit of deep down to the right. And Dan Bigger's actually going to be playing this week, which is going to be nice. So, let's start off talking about the game, of course, that happened on Saturday. I've lost track of what it was now. They had the Lions versus the Lions as the Sharks go for a very bizarre backwards kick here. That was a great move. And the Lions versus Lions. Now, before that game, I did talk a little bit, you know, like the team that was going into that game wasn't as strong as the team that we saw playing Japan. However, they did come out and there was a lot of interesting talking points. I, of course, did the preview video for that video and then the post-review match of that. So if you want to go check out a bit more in depth about them, feel free to go check out those videos after this one. But that game was really impressive, to be fair. There was a total mix-up of team, a lot more reliance on the England players coming in. Of course, they were finishing their semi-finals and finals at club level. They were moving over and actually coming in now to this Lions team as Reece Zammit can't quite make it to the line. Really should have got there. This game does not have Zammit's speed on point, but we'll see Tyg Burn going across the line there. But the Lions versus Lions game was super intense, the first half especially, the first 20-30 minutes of that game, just smashing into each other, but the British and Irish Lions coming out on top. I did talk about, you know, a couple of people that really stood out to me. Courtney Laws, for me, was playing really well in that number 6 shirt, and I definitely think the competition between him and Tyg Burn for that number 6 shirt can be a little bit tighter than expected. I really thought Tyg Burn was just going to be in for a shoe-in for that 6 shirt, but Courtney Laws looking very impressive. I thought Maro Itoje had a good game, only a few little penalties here and there. Hamish Watson having, of course, the man of the match game. Very impressive for him. So, a lot of positives to talk about from that game, and the aggressivity that gets brought in. It's nice to see that Warren Gatland is also playing a bit of a different team, using a lot of the England players, but the method they were playing felt very like an England team from a couple of years back. Very aggressive, getting those early scores in, really putting pressure on, kicking the ball through, pinning you back in your half, and it was nice to see the team mix it up a little bit. And we definitely got to see some different combos, of course, with Finn Russell and Owen Farrell in there as well. So, whole bunch to talk about, but like I said, go check out those videos if you want to look a little bit more at it. So let's talk about the Lions team for this week, because of course there's going to be needed some changes around. Still no Alan Wynne as captain. Conor Murray took over as tour captain. We had Stuart Hogg last week as tour captain, and for this one we have Ian Henderson as a captain. So there's just captains galore. It feels like everyone gets a go at this point, but I do like Ian Henderson as a captain. You'll see him here in the on the left hand side of the team here. We'll probably cut him out to actually go through the team, but I like Ian Henderson as a captain. I think he'll work well. So, I don't know what's happening in the background here. I'm having a scrum and the players, the scrum half has just literally run away from the scrum. That's a new glitch. There he is. All the way over here. Brilliant. Good run. Okay, I don't know what's happening there. Anyway, sorry, let's check the teams on the screen for you guys, because we're already in the 20th minute here. So starting off in this front row here, Vunipola, Cowan-Dickie and Fagerson. Now this is a slightly different mix-up, and I'm liking where this is going. Of course, Vunipola and Cowan-Dickie will have played together before in that England team, so there's a bit of knowledge there, a bit of unity going on there. And it'd be nice to see Xander Fagerson get in and play a full game. We still haven't got to see that yet. That sort of real nice full game from Xander Fagerson, of course, out with an injury. And I would like to see more from him. I think he's really going to be quite competitive for this tight head position going into the South Africa series, so it'll be nice to see how he gets on. Moving further back towards the lock, Ian Henderson coming in 4 as the captain, and Adam Beard moving to 5. Now, this was a big call here because, of course, a lot of people were questioning why Adam Beard got selected for the team. Why wasn't James Ryan selected? Why wasn't Johnny Gray selected? To me, I don't think Adam Beard was necessarily a bad pick. I feel like I would maybe have actually gone for James Ryan. I think the Johnny Gray, Adam Beard, I think they bring a very similar skill set. And I don't think that's a terrible call to bring him in there. I maybe would have brought James Ryan, but the thing for me with James Ryan is the amount of penalties he does give away. He had a much better Six Nations and not giving away penalties, but I know Warren Gatland isn't a big fan of teams and players that give away penalties just consistently, and James Ryan is a real pinpoint player for giving away far too many, as we got to see in that Ireland-Japan game. There are at least 4 or 5 penalties that came directly from James Ryan, so I don't think that's necessarily a bad move to have left him out. However, Henderson can play 4 or 5, whereas I've only ever seen Adam Beard play number 4. So I don't know why they don't move Ian Henderson to 5 and let Adam Beard play 4 where he normally would. Maybe this is a way to just sort of throw your opponents off a little bit, but I'm not sure if Adam Beard's ever spent time at 5 actually, especially not in the Wales team, because Alan Wynne always takes the number 5 position. So bit of a mix up there. I think I might swap those two around, but we'll see how they get on. Moving on to the back row here, Navidi, Curry, Simmons. Now there is a power back row. I'm really liking this setup. Navidi, of course, getting brought in now with Tipuric out. I really felt like Navidi probably would have got in the team already when they did the initial announcement. I was surprised to not see him in there. Probably because his running play is not quite as good as people like Tipuric or Tom Curry. But the jackal and breakdown rate for him is absolutely superb. I really like the work he does at the breakdown. And he just gets over that ball and just clings on for dear life. So really, really impressive for him. Really looking forward to see how he gets on in that number 6 shirt. Tom Curry, of course, I talk so positively about Tom Curry. I really like him. I think he's a superb player, really good again in the breakdown, but also ball carrying. Can play 6, 7, 8, and he loves to run with the ball in hand. The crash ball, we see it off the back of mauls, of scrums, smashing his way through, really like him. And finally, Sam Simmons, who didn't have the best sort of start to this Lions tour for me. It came across a little bit too eager. I thought he was going to get himself carded in that Lions versus Lions game, the sort of tip tackle clear out that he did. Landing a player on his shoulder, I thought he was going to get carded. I think he was lucky to not get carded in that one, to be honest. So I think I wanted to know a little bit more from him. He just needs to settle down a little bit. You're on Lions, it's exciting, it's new, you want to impress, you want to get in that team for the South African team, but no point getting yourself red carded in a game and kicking yourself out because you're too eager to get in. Take a step back, play the game you know he can do, especially at that Premiership level. We get to see him at club level doing well. So, no need for him to go too far, I don't think. We'll quickly move on to the backs here. We are, of course, getting towards that half-time marker. So, at number 9, Gareth Davis coming in at the scrum half with Dan Biggar in this half-back partnership. So, this is the Welsh combo. We talk a lot about the combos using this Lions team so far. They're trying to mix it up with Scottish because we had Ali Price and Finn Russell working together. We've had Conor Murray and Dan Biggar actually work quite well. Last week they tried to do the Finn Russell Owen Farrell combo. I don't think that will work quite as well. I'm sure that won't be something they'll be looking to push too much going forward. I really feel like that fell flat a lot. They seem to be in exactly two different minds about how they were attacking. So it will be nice to see how Gareth Davis and Dan Biggar can get on. I really feel like Gareth Davis will probably be the benched scrum half for the tour. He seems to have such a big impact from that bench, but I haven't seen it for a little while from Gareth Davis in that Wales team, especially starting being superb. I would like to see him come on from the bench probably in that South African team. But Dan Biggar, really looking forward to seeing if he could get that fly half position. Moving further back, Duhan van der Merwe taking that 11 position away from Josh Adams. A couple of people might be surprised here. Josh Adams getting 4 tries against the Lions, had a really good game. Just impressive all around the field. Even the defensive work was good from him. Duhan van der Merwe had a really good game in the Japan game in terms of attacking. Defence, again, a bit of an issue for Duhan van der Merwe. I don't think it was 100% his fault. He was getting left short a little bit in the Japan game. The team closing in very tight in the middle of the field and leaving him quite exposed, and he was up against someone like Matsushima, difficult to deal with in terms of defence, but got himself a try, and I'm sure he'll be trying to work on that. And he knows that the competition for that left wing, Josh Adams is looking really good right now, so he needs to work on that, but I think he'll do okay. The centre partnership, Aki and Daly. Now here's a mix-up. We got to see Aki and Henshaw. Aki doing very good work in that Japan game, was nice to see from him. We didn't get to see a lot from him. Did he even play in the Lions game, actually, now that I think about it? I don't even remember him coming onto the pitch in that Lions game. I know he did start on the bench for that one. But Daly had a much better game than I expected him to. Much better performance than we've seen him in the Six Nations by a long way anyway. That one's an easy call to make. I really think Elliot Daly might be moving into this 13 shirt, not just for the Lions, but also for England at some point. I think he's doing very good work in that position, much better than the fullback. But would I pick him over Henshaw? I'm not sure. Again, another person I might put on the bench because he can be, the utility of playing fullback or in the centre partnership if you need him to. We'll see how they get on. Moving quickly further back then, Anthony Watson taking over that right wing. Will be nice to see a bit more work from him. Really impressed with what he's got up to so far, especially in the England team in that Six Nations, so will be nice. And finally, Liam Williams taking over that full-back position. So, again, the combos here are going to get mixed up an awful lot. There's a lot of people that won't have worked together. I actually think this could be the least sort of chemistry-based team that we will have seen so far, apart from Vunipola and Cowan-Dickey in that front row. And, I was going to say Curry and Simmons, but of course we don't even have that in the England international team. So Davis and Dan Biggar. So not a lot of partnerships that people will be used to. Wingers that won't have played together with a fullback that hasn't played with them. There's a lot of mix-ups here. So you could find that the team chemistry could be a little off. That's the job, of course, of Warren Gatland to put this all together for him. So be interesting to see how they get on there. But it's still a strong-looking team. There's good players in there. There's big names. So we would still be expecting good work from them. We'll quickly check out the subs before we move on. Ken Owens, Rory Sutherland and Tyg Furlong. That's a huge front row replacement that are going to come on at some point there. That's probably going to be a second half, 50-minute. Just settle down the group if it's not going your way, or just to reinforce if not. That might even be a stronger set of front three than the three already on. I don't know. That could be a bit open to interpretation. Tygburn going to be in there, so of course can play 4-5-6. So I wouldn't be surprised actually if he might even come on for Adam Beard at some point there, and just sort of take over that 5 shirt. We'll see how that one gets on. Jack Conan will, of course, probably come on as a direct swap, or could come on for Simmons, or I believe Jack Conan can play 6, so could come on for Navidi at some point as well if you need him to. Conor Murray at that 9. They're going to probably replay that Dan Biggar Conor Murray for a little bit just to make sure that works. They can see who works better out of Gareth Davis and Conor Murray alongside Dan Biggar. Stuart Hogg and Chris Harris. Now, interesting to note that I've got a weird feeling that Chris Harris, of course, will just come on probably at 13, I imagine, at some point. But I've got a really funny suspicion what might actually happen here is Chris Harris will come on. Liam Williams might come off. Elliot Daly will move to fullback, and Stuart Hogg might actually come on at fly half. There seems to be a lot of people here able to play fullback. Liam Williams, Anthony Watson, Elliot Daly and Stuart Hogg are all able to play fullback to quite a high standard. So I've got a feeling there's going to be some shenanigans going on here. I'd be interested to see if they mix that up. Maybe just to take Dan Biggar out of the injury zone after 50 minutes if the game's going well. Stuart Hogg has played 10 for Scotland before. Nothing wrong with putting him in there. And just as a bit of an extra sort of utility, I guess that the Sharks probably won't be expecting a move like that. But we'll see how they get on. But of course, we need to talk about their opponents before we can judge how they're going to get on. So we'll talk about the Cell C Sharks. Not a team that I know a great deal about. Of course, they've had their game in the Pro 14. Sorry, the Rainbow Cup. Of course, it got changed to there. And they didn't have the most amazing tournament, but they did okay. They will be looking to improve on that. I could definitely see the Lions will be looking to try and win this game. We'll check the team on screen. Unfortunately, this is going to be the same thing we've had with a couple of other teams at South African club level. Not the most knowledgeable for me, but we can have a look through here. There's not going to be a great deal of names here for me. Andrews, Venter at 6. There's Hendrickse, which I don't know if that's the same Hendrickse that played for South Africa the other day when they played against Georgia. Maybe it's just the same name. I'm not sure how common certain names are in the Southern Hemisphere in South Africa for those names. But there's a big team there, and we'll quickly have a look at the replacements. Unfortunately for me, there's no names really standing out on this Sharks bench here for me. My knowledge, I wasn't able to catch an awful lot of the Rainbow Cup, so my knowledge on that isn't going to be the best, so unfortunately for that one, guys. But like I say in all these videos, for anyone who does know a little bit more, make sure you point out some names of who to look out for. People have been really nice so far in the comments, being like, you got to check out this guy. Keep an eye on the Japanese fullback when they played the Lions, who had a really good game. Someone said make sure to keep an eye out on the fullback for the American players and the American team against that England team. That fullback was absolutely solid. So it's really nice to see when people drop down in the comments and let me know, who to keep an eye on, who to look out for, and I get to, keep a special eye out for them, and it helps me learn for future games with them. So we'll see how the Cell C Sharks get on. They really toughed that one up. I'm just going to call them the Sharks. But it'll be interesting to see how they get on. Given how the Lions performed against the other Lions team, I wouldn't be suspect if they're going to go for a very similar method of just all-out aggression and pressure. I was expecting that game to be a little bit closer. I think the British and Irish Lions will be very happy with how that game turned out. So many points getting on the board, the real pressure being applied, and there's a good number of the England players still remaining there. They'll want to have that same pressure that the other team had. It will be fun to see how they get on. But in terms of a score prediction, what do we think? So the Lions beat the other Lions by, about 40 points last time. I don't think this Lions team is as well built as that team, actually, because I don't know how many players have played together. The team chemistry doesn't seem it's going to be quite there. Big players and maybe stronger named players, but in terms of playing together, I'm not sure how much experience they will have had together, but I can certainly see this being maybe a similar scoreline as to what we saw in the last one, maybe slightly less. So I'm going to say it's going to be a British and Irish Lions win, and I'm going to say the British and Irish Lions are going to win by 35, I'm going to say, for this one. I think it might even go a very similar way. It might be a bit of a slow start, or like a very quick 10 minutes, but then the 10 minutes to the 40 marker, they might slow it down. And then that second half will be a real explosive. That Lions bench, to me, Ken Owens, Rory Sutherland, Tyke Furlong, that's just going to reinforce that scrum, and it was a scrum we saw worked very well in the Lions versus Lions game already. There's definitely been good work going on in those sort of set play areas, and I think they'll work very well with them. They've got to just rely on not people going up for one-off runs, but I definitely think we could be looking here for a very strong Lions win, realistically, and a lot of these players will be looking now, people that know they're competing for positions. Vandermeer will be knowing that position's in trouble. Adam Beard's, got a great opportunity here to get in here and steal a number 5 shirt for the Lions. Curry will know Hamish Watson's coming for that 7 shirt. Simmons has got a battle with both Conan and Falatau for that 8 shirt. So a lot of people fighting against each other. I'm sure they'll want to impress. But what do you guys think? Make sure you drop it down in the comments who you think's going to win, what you think the score will be, what you think the score difference will be. I mean, that's always fun to do. Who we think will look out for, who you think will score tries. I hope you've all enjoyed today, guys. Remember, we are, of course, doing all these Lions videos across the board for every Lions game. So make sure you subscribe to the channel just to keep up to date with all the videos as they come out. I'll see you all next time, guys. Bye-bye.